This conference will now be recorded.
So let this come up. So I've already have the Ansible master and 2 nodes. Okay, just to verify we have. So we can. I also have my cat etc Ansible hosts. Right. So I have here as a dev. I have 2685. These are node 1 and node 2. But I have node 1 and node 2. We cannot add windows there. So node 1 and node 2, we'll just let you know how to set up for windows. Okay, just give it a minute. Once we get the windows initialized, then we will go and set up that. Okay. So just to make sure everything is working fine, Ansible -m module will use the ping module to ping our hosts under dev. Okay, one is Ubuntu and one is node 1 is Ubuntu, node 2 is your Red Hat Linux. So we are good here. So we are just in the place where we were the last time, and we saw some adopt commands, and today we will see some additional features of our Ansible. Okay, how to write playbooks, how to execute them, right? We will go through that. We will just first set up these windows. So for Windows, one thing you need to wait is you need to decode your password from the PEM file that you have uploaded. So when you click on here, go and upload your private key file and get the password from there, and we should be okay. Just make sure you select the correct key, decrypt the password. This is the password that we have. So let's go to copy this public DNS and go to MSTSC, which is your remote desktop client. Go there and copy this and connect. And since I'm already logged into Windows, so it will take my default Microsoft account. So we need to go and say more choices and say use a different account. And now we go and say use your administrator as your username, and password will be this password. So we have to change the password in order for us to set this. We cannot have this weird characters because sometimes this character might interfere with our Ansible scripts. So we will go and change the password first. So let's get into the Windows. Windows always take time. So even while I'm doing my AWS course, I normally don't spin up Windows that much. Just only for first 1 or 2 classes, I spin Windows and show them how to create Windows. Just give it a minute. Once it's all up, we'll first go and change the password. Because we'll be using that password in our configuration file. Say no, we don't want this to be discovered by any other system, and go ahead and say change password, right? Change your password. Click on this. Change your password. Give the correct password, whatever you copied at the end. This is the one that we did, right? This is the one. Because there is equal to and all those sign here. Normally in Ansible, when we give the configuration, we give key value per key equal to value, then that time just equal to will become a key and value. So that's why we need to change the password. Let's change the new password, confirm new password, and password hint. You just give whatever you want, right? Finish. Once a password is changed, I would recommend you to please sign out and sign it again. Sign out and sign in again. Just to make sure you are able to get to them with the new password. Give the password that you have given now and see if you are able to get inside. Yeah, so we are good now. There are some certain steps that we need to follow. So there is a module called WinRM. Okay, we have to install this in our master, Ansible master, and this will talk to Windows using WinRM only. Okay, so let's go and do this. First, let's go and check our Python version. Check your Python version in the master. You have 2.17, 2.7 and 18. Already it is 2.7, so I don't think we need to, you have to get this pip and you need to go and install your pip. Pip is a software package manager for Python. Okay, let's get this. You got this. Now go ahead and install this pip using sudo. I'll share these steps to you in case if you happen to install anything as Windows, then you can use this. Then now we have to do a pip install and this one, right? We have to put the pywinrm using the user. Just give me 1 minute. 1 minute. Yeah. Let's go and install this WinRM. listener is configured correctly, just go ahead and run the next step. Okay, this is what you will get both for HTTP and HTTPS. 5985, 5986 for HTTPS. This is for HTTP. We will be using HTTPS. Okay. Now let's go and see how we can configure this, right? So what we will add is we will add this Windows as a separate item there. Okay. So what we need to do, just go to etc Ansible and sudo vi hosts. Okay, go to the end and just say Windows. It can be any name, right? We'll give it as Windows. It can be Windows, anything, right? So we'll have to take the private IP of this Windows machine, and we will need to add that there. Okay, it's not only this one. There are additional things that you need to add for Windows, like these are all the Windows variables that will be used across. This is the password I gave there, so I'm just going to use the same thing. You remember now why I'm not using the default password. Sometimes there might be equal to in the password, which will not work correctly, right? So what we are seeing, Ansible user is administrator, password, which port it will run 5986, connection is through WinRM, transport is basic, scheme is HTTPS, and say server cert validation, ignore that. Otherwise, you need to have a certification if you are going as HTTPS. Become method run as like root, and then delegation is root. Just copy the entire stuff here. These are all the variables that we need to give. And remember here, whatever you're giving here, Windows, right? Whatever name you're giving, it should be the same name here. That means these variables will be used only by this group. Okay. Now go ahead and save this. Once you have saved this, now the only way that we will need to do is just go and see if we are able to ping this Windows, right? Let's go and see how to check whether we are able to ping this Windows. So how do we ping? Ansible, as I told you, all Windows module starts with win underscore, right? Win underscore ping, say Windows. Hyphen M is module, and win underscore ping is your ping module, and Windows is your group. See here, we got this ping pong. So we have now configured our Windows as also as one of the this one. Okay. So now I have, if you go to my if I go to my this one, I have Dev and Windows. Now how do I make sure everything has to take effect? Instead of Dev or Windows, just say all. It will go to all the groups that are open, right? If you give specifically for Windows, it will take only Windows. If you give for Dev, it will take only for Dev. Okay. So this is just this one. Any questions here, guys? Setting up Windows. So now Windows is added as one of your hosts, and you can start putting all those modules and stuff related to Windows. So again, as I told you, these are all Windows modules, and you can go and take a look at those modules there. These are all Windows module. Everything starts with win underscore, right? So for example, we just saw win ping. You can go and say win this is the Windows version of your ping, and you have to simply get a ping pong response. That's all. Okay. So like this, you can go and get all the different this one, and you can go ahead and download things. You can create file directories, everything just like our Linux. Only thing is you have to add a win underscore and add the appropriate modules correctly. And if you're having any doubt, you can go and see how to copy some file from here to there and there to here and all those things, right? So say for example, win copy, you have to give some basic things like you have to give the source, destination, right? You have to give the source, destination, everything you need to give. So you will be able to copy the files from your server to the server. But only thing, now when we are doing all, we have to be very careful because we have different OS. So we will see how to install softwares depending upon the OS, right? We will go and see that. Okay. I'll upload this one for you. Let's start like what we have done, right? So a lot of things to cover. Let's go through one by one and see. So this is what we saw so far. We are able to ping dev. We are able to ping this one. Now, instead of going to the documentation, you can directly go to documentation using this command also. But this will just give you a list of things, right? Very small description of those documentation. That's all. See, just like this, right? You can go and specifically see what is happening. Or if you wanted to see for a specific details of one particular module, you can do this also, right? Do a queue, you will come out. See, it'll give you all this yum and what you need to do, what are the different, this one, click on the space, you will go, okay, one by one, they will give you some examples also. Whatever is there in that page, it's entirely as a text here, that's all. So quickly, if you want to take in, look at any of the help, you can use this command to take a look, right? So this is what we saw. So we just did a ping. Let's go and find a ping. And ping is a module. Test module. This module is written Spong unsuccessful contact, right? How to do it, all those things. Everything is there. Okay. And okay, let's talk about playbooks. Okay. Now there are two types of commands I told you. One is ad hoc commands. Another is writing in YAML playbook and then executing it. Now, what is the difference between ad hoc command and this one? Ad hoc command is whatever we did now, right? Whatever we did now. Like say, for example, when I say ping, right? When I say Ansible -m ping dev, sorry, ping dev, right? Now, this is a ad hoc command. Okay, so I can give this command line. Everything can be done in command line, but the problem with that is you cannot store this command somewhere, right? So when you write it as a file, you can store it as your Git and you can automate it using Jenkins. So we will be writing our Ansible files. So Ansible files are written in YAML syntax. YAML syntax is always a key value pair. The indentation is very, very important for your YAML file. Okay, let's try to write a YAML file which will help us to install one software, right? Let's say we have a software called Tree. I hope you guys are aware of this software called Tree. It will show the directory structure in a tree format, right? That is not there by default. Okay, let's see how to write it and do this, right? So make sure you are in your home directory. Okay, make sure you are in home directory and say tree underscore install. Always the YAML file extension is .yml or YAML. Okay, YML or YAML. It's very, very easy. It's very easy to write. It's very easy to understand. Okay, let's get inside. Okay, the first thing is you have to put a 3 dashes. This indicates the start of the YAML file. Okay, and then you can give a name for your playbook. It's called a playbook. Playbooks are nothing but list of tasks that needs to be done. That's called playbook. So we give a name for this playbook, just to say playbook to. What's the indentation? Okay, when you are copying it from the net some program, please make sure your indentation is correct. Playbook to install tree software. Okay, something, right? Tree software. Okay. Okay. Now the next thing what we need to do, which hosts you want, right? I need to put this in dev. Okay, put this in dev, these two machines, right? So this is under dev. Let's put it under dev. Okay. Next, in Linux, whenever you are installing anything, you need to be as a root, correct? You need to be as a root, otherwise you will not be able to install. For that, you have to say become true. That means it will be root. Okay. Now I'm saying the name of the playbook. That's just a name reference for me. Host, on which host it needs to run. Set of hosts. So dev contains 2 hosts, so it will run in these 2 hosts. Become true, it has to run as a root. Now next, let's define the tasks what it needs to do, right? Tasks. So see the indentation correctly. Tasks. Under task, you can give a name of the task. Say task to install tree. Something, right? Okay. Now, what is the software? What is the service name that you're going to use? Normally, we used Yum. Yum is a package manager for Linux and this one, right? So use yum. What is the name of the package that you need to install? Tree. And you can have to something called state. State is there. That is called present, means it will install it. Latest also will install it. Absent will remove it. Okay. Now where do I get all these things, right? Let's go back to our documentation, and we need to see. It's like this, right? For the examples, everything will be given in form of YAML file only. Oh, where's this? Yum module. Okay, see here, yum module. Go to examples, and this is what we are seeing now. Installing any versions of Apache or anything, right? So you can give either latest, see here, state can be absent, installed, latest, present, removed. Okay, so these are all the choices that you can give. Okay, state, then name of the package. These are the minimum things that you need to give, and you have additional things you can go and see this, and you can go and put all these things here. So this is what we are having it in our playbook here. Okay, so name, playbook to install something, and then on which host we need to run. We need to run this as a root. Then what are the tasks? There can be n number of tasks. There can be another task. Okay, another task. Another task to install Git, right? Task to, you write whatever you want, right? Another task to install Git. So you can put that way, and you can repeat the same thing again and over. Or we will see how to do multiple softwares in one single line itself, right? We will see that also. So let's take this. So you will have to save this. Any questions here, guys? Please be very careful. Repeatedly, I'm saying the indentation is very, very important, right? I'll show you how this indentation will work. Now, once you create this YAML file, there are many ways that you can check your syntax check. There are many ways to check your syntax. You can do a hyphen syntax check, or you can also do a capital C. Okay, both will check your syntax. Let's do that, right? Let's do that. Or you can also do a simply hyphen check. That will also do the same thing. Okay, let's do one by one. Let's do a this is a dry run. Sorry, this is a syntax check. This is a dry run. Let's go do a syntax check first. So you say Ansible hyphen playbook, then give your playbook and say hyphen syntax hyphen check. Okay, if everything is fine, it will return your playbook name correctly. Now, suppose let's do this. Let's go down here, and what I have done, I didn't know that this need to be here. Just putting it here. I don't know the indentation. Let's go and see syntax check. See here, you are getting the error. So this indentation or the space is very, very important. You need to be very, very careful. Okay, so this is how you do a syntax check. So go and do a syntax check. This is one. The next thing is, before running this, you can do a dry run. You can do a dry run using hyphen check. So what it will do, it will actually go to all the machines under dev, and it will start executing, and it will find out if anything, any issues there, it will report back. This is the dry run. This will not actually install any software for you. Let's go and do that, right? See here, this is the name that I gave, and this is the gathering facts. We'll talk about facts. Okay, and this is the task I gave, and this is what it's trying to do. It's going to change in both the places. Now, actually, it has changed or not? It has not changed because it's a dry run. We haven't actually executed it. So you can run dry run for this either using hyphen check or just do hyphen capital C. Both are same. Okay, both are same. Okay, this is also dry run, so you should not be able to see any software is installed here. See, command tree is not found. Now let's go and execute this, right? So just to execute, just remove everything, just leave it blank. You are executing this playbook now. See what's happening. It's gathering facts, means it will go to the host and take the all the dev information. Then now it's trying to install. Both are installed. Go and see here. Tree. Just to make sure if you are able to see something. See, tree. It will show you a tree structure for /temp. Okay. Here also initially we didn't have anything. Let's go and try to do a temp. This software is now installed. Now assume this, we just have only 2 nodes. What will happen if you have 50 nodes, right? The best way to do is write a playbook and execute it. Then all 50 servers will have the Apache and stuff installed for you, right? Or this particular software. Okay. Any questions here, guys? This is very, very important. You can keep on writing whatever you like. You think you have a plan here, write it. That's called a playbook. When you are doing an Ansible playbook and that YAML file and giving enter, that's called playing a playbook. You are playing a playbook. A playbook contains n number of tasks. Okay, this is one task. We have only one task here. We can have n number of tasks. Our set of tasks are called one playbook. Okay. So when somebody is saying what is asking for a playbook, then say they're all set of tasks, all grouped together in one playbook. Don't write very big playbook, put everything in one playbook. Have different playbooks for different functionality. So if something breaks, you can only run that playbook instead of running the whole playbook again and again. Now we have already installed this software. What will happen again if I try to install this, right? Let's see. Okay, you see the difference here. The change is 0, the change is 1. That means already it is installed, so it is not doing any change. And moreover, if you notice the color, right here, it's all orange means it's changed. Here, green means it's not changed. Okay, and if you are getting anything failed or something, you will get all these things here. Okay, so this is how you can code and write it. Now we'll see how to remove this also, right? So as I told you, for removing, we have state absent or it can be removed. Both if you put, it will remove the specified package. Absent and removed will remove the specified package. So let's go and put a, this is opposite to present. We will say absent, right? Okay, let's go and see if the software is getting removed. Suppose there is some software which is illegal that your company is asking you to remove it, then this is the best way to go and change the YAML file. And you can check in this YAML file into Git. And when you write automation using Jenkins, then you will take this YAML file and you will copy it to the master, and from master you will execute it. Okay, fine. So now see, it has changed now. Now if you go back and try the same thing, see, it has removed that software, right? So this is how you can install some software, copy some files. You can do all the things using Ansible. There are a lot of modules. We cannot see all the modules, but at least I will introduce you the concepts and you can keep working as you like, right? Let's go and see the next one. Okay, we saw all these things. Now, if you wanted to know what is exactly happening while you are running the playbook, you can put some additional output, detailed verbose, right? 4 weeks, right? After the playbook. Let's try that, right? Let's try to do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, right? It's an additional verbose. That's all. See, so many things it's doing in the background just to check that things, right? See, these are all the things, but when the output comes, we are only getting this. Okay, but actually all these things are happening in the background. So you can go here for troubleshooting if something is failing, where it is actually failing. If you want to see, go and put a hyphen. We see here it's trying to SSH using our key that we already have. So many things it's trying to do, right? So you can go and see, but it's try to use this verbose only when you wanted to troubleshoot something. Okay, don't put it every time, then you will spend more time in going back and forth, and then you will spend a lot of your resources as well just to do this verbosing, right? So this is one of the way that where you can have your detailed verbose what is exactly happening. This will be useful when you wanted to troubleshoot. If say for example something is not getting installed, then you can go and see that, right? So this is what we saw now so far, right? I'll share all these things. You can just take it and paste it there and you can run. And you can do a syntax check, or you can do hyphen check or this one, right? And you can run a install tree, it will run. Verify on the host if the tree is installed or not. Then you can go back and check whether tree is installed or not. Suppose you want to install multiple packages, you can also put it as a list like this. You can also put it as a list like this, right? So let's try to put git and tree, right? Just git and tree alone, right? And let's see if we can run this multiple. So just say software multi.yaml. Okay, so up to us whatever we do, right? Just say playbook to install multiple software. Now why we need all these things? You have to make sure if somebody else is running your playbook, they need to know exactly what this playbook is doing, right? So you need to give that, right? Okay, host, then we say become equal to true. Now this time I'm not going to give this become equal to true. Let's see what will happen, right? And the tasks that we have. Okay, the first task is name, say install whatever that you wanted to give, right? Say install git and tree. Okay, git and tree, and we'll use yum as this one. And under name, if you give in a single line, that's a single file. When you put a hyphen, right, that's a list. That is a list. This is a list. Okay, and you need to say state as your present. Okay, let's go and check this out. So we have to say Ansible playbook, then SW multi, and do a syntax check. So I would always recommend you to check the syntax check, because even if you miss one or two indentation, it will catch hold of here, right? Otherwise it becomes very, very difficult. Let's do a dry run, see what is the, are we facing any issue? See what it is saying, this command has to be run under root user, it cannot run as a normal user. So we'll have to go and say become equal to true. That is the issue here, right? So whenever you are installing anything, it has to be done as a root. That's why we say become true. Okay, now go ahead and do the dry run. Now you should be able to see what's happening. Before that, let's go and see if we have Git in Ubuntu. Okay, in Ubuntu by default Git will be available. Okay, in Ubuntu. Linux you will not have it, but in Ubuntu alone by default the Git will come along with the kernel package itself. So you will not see any difference, but still you can see tree is not there. Okay, you can still see tree is not there. Now let's go and try to run this guy and see what happens.
So, Chandra, regarding these terminals, do we require to use this terminal only which you are using it?
No. This is just a client interface. You can use putty, you can use whatever you want.
Okay, okay. And this is which tool?
This is MOBA Exterm.
Oh,
This
oh,
is
okay.
MOBA Exterm. Okay, so this is the free version. I'm using this because you will see your sessions in tabs like this.
Yeah, multiple tab. Yeah.
Yeah, and it'll be easy for us to go and navigate and click. Otherwise, every time you need to open the window and then go and see, right? That's the only thing
Yes,
that we
yes.
have. So if you
Okay.
see now, you can see the tree has been deployed. Git is already here, so we cannot say whether Git was there or not here. Git was not there, it is there now. And you can also see a tree. Okay, so all this you can put multiple things. Now this is not the right way to do, because we are saying one. Now what happens if we have 10? What happens if we have 20 softwares, right? So we will go through below and see what more we have, different options we have for installing. Now this is just you want to install your Apache. You can install our Apache. We will install our Apache. Okay, we will install our Apache. But when we install the Apache, we will install in a different way, because for the package manager for Ubuntu is apt, whereas your package manager for Linux is yum. So we will have to, we cannot write multiple, we can write multiple um, YAML files, playbooks for playing, one for Linux, one for Ubuntu, but that's not the right way to do. If you are installing Apache, you have to install, when you run that, it has to install Apache irrespective of the OS group, right? So we will have to see how to do that. We'll come back to that once we do that. Okay, let's talk about this privilege escalation. Okay, privilege escalation, as I told you, there is no become true here, so we got an error, privilege escalation error, saying that this can be run only as a root. So you have to run only as a root, otherwise you will not get. So if you go to this ansible.configuration, there is a section called privilege escalation. Let's go and see what are these things, right? When you say become set to yes, activate privilege escalation. Become user, you set the desired user you want to run to, and then become method is overrides the default method set in the Ansible CFG, so you can override any plugins and all those, become like plugin and all those things, and you have big, specific flag if you wanted to do, you can go and enable those things. And these are all some things that is already available for you in the config.cfg, but they will all be commented here. I will say you why it is commented, okay, and why we are giving it here, why we are not doing it there. So let's jump into etc Ansible, and let's go to Ansible ansible.cfg, right? Just scroll down, a lot of things here, everything will be disabled here, most of the stuff. Okay, village escalation, I would say become here, privilege escalation, this is the section that we are looking for. Okay, so what happened? Okay, this is the section that we are looking for, that's called privilege escalation. Now I have given there become equal to true, right? Become true. Now if I don't give it there and give it here as become true, irrespective of any operations I do in the playbook, everything will be done as a root. If I'm creating a file, if I'm creating a directory, everything will be written as true, as root. We don't want to do that, because we want to use root only when we want to do certain tasks like installing softwares, adding new users, and all those things. That is why we commented out in the config.cfg, and we will override in our playbook. Okay, so this is called privilege escalation. So if you don't give that become true, you will get a privilege escalation issue. Okay, that's called a privilege escalation. So these are the stuff. Okay, so if you give true there, what will happen? You don't have to give true here, but it will take globally any playbook that you run, whether you are simply pinging also, it will run as root only. Okay, so to avoid that, we will have to make sure that we are giving it to overwriting in our this one. Okay, that's why we are saying become equal to true. If you remove this and uncomment that one, any playbook, anything that you do, everything will be done as a root. Okay, it is called privilege escalation in this one. Okay, so you can go over this, and you can also see, again, I'm saying you copy paste playbooks from internet, how to avoid intending issues. You need to copy and give the correct this one, otherwise you will lose all your this one. Okay, so please be very careful. So we have, this has been replaced now with a different one. We will see how to replace this. We are trying to install multiple packages. Okay, it's just a small example of how to write our playbooks, and very simple one. Let's see some sample playbooks. This is what we saw, list of packages, and you can also install list of packages, and you can install and you can run your restart your this one, or you can also do a multiple tasks like this, right? Restart web service and then install some other software, and you can do all these things. You can just go and see what we can do, right? Then you can also run some playbooks where you can kind of download something and then put it in your Apache. That also you can do, and we can try to see this. So for this, what we will do, okay, so let's try to run this playbook. I'll just paste this playbook, and someone need to say me what is going to happen. Okay, in your this one you can say set page, sorry, we can have something called set paste. Yeah, set paste, and you can do an insert and you can paste it. It will just take all the indentation as it is, otherwise you will need to adjust, right? There is this one. Now let's see. Okay, what is this going to do? It's going to install Apache. It's going to install on host. We have to give our host a dev, but of course dev one is Ubuntu, one is Linux, so your yum package will not work in Ubuntu, so we will convert that to this one. And then what it is trying to do is it's starting the service, it's downloading some PDF, and we are hosting that PDF. That's all. Okay, so what we will do, first we will go here, and we can okay, let's put as Linux, host as Linux, and also please make sure your become as true is also there. Okay, otherwise you will get an error. So what it is trying to do, it will install Apache, it will start the Apache, and then it will download this conf file, and it will download this PDF, and it will put this PDF in the path, and we can go and browse this PDF from the Apache site. Let's go and see that, right? So we call this as a Linux. Sorry. So for that, again, we will have to do sudo vi etc Ansible hosts, and I think the 85 is the Linux one, right? Let's go and see. Node 2 is the Linux one. It's a 236. Okay. And just go and paste this. It's the same thing, 236, right? Okay. Now, what we will do, we will go into Ansible playbook and install Apache and do a syntax check first. Since we are copying it from somewhere, let's always do that. We are good. Let's do a dry run to just to make sure. It's only affected only one. Okay. Okay. This will throw error because only after this is installed, this folder will be created. We are just doing a dry run, so this folder is not there, so it cannot download to this particular place. Okay, that's so don't worry, this error will go once you actually install the Apache. So now let's go and see if you are able to run this. Okay, see, everything is done. Node 2 is our this one. Go and see if your Apache is running. ps-ef grep httpd. See, here this one is running. Okay, just do a curl localhost. See, you are seeing the Apache page. So now let's go back and take this one, go here and put here. You will see your Apache page. See, Red Hat Enterprise Linux test page. You got this Apache. Now only thing you need to do is just go back and whatever PDF we put, whether it is there or not correctly, just go ahead and put this, right? Take this out. If it is there successfully, then we should be put. What happened? Ansible.pdf. Sorry, it's a small case. Okay, it's a small case here. Okay, see here. So we were able to download a file and host it, right? So you can use this to download this. Some book is there, you can download that. Okay, fine. So this is what we saw in this one. So you can go and do that. Okay. So this is one of the some of the sample playbooks. You can try to execute them. Okay. We'll talk about handlers later. We'll talk about inventory grouping, right? So a lot of things that we can do in inventory grouping. So node 1 can be dev group, node 2 can be a prod group, and you can have a different thing, and you can install only for prod, you can install only for dev, right? You can do all those things separately, like we did for Linux separately, dev separately, right? You can do all these things. Now it is whenever that we are giving this host file, it will automatically take the host file from this particular place, right? So it's going to take from etc Ansible host. But what happens if I need to have my own inventory somewhere else, right? That also we can have. So what we will do, we will create one inventory file. Okay. Let's create as host.inv. It is up to us. Whatever you want, you can create host.inv, and let's go and create it here as our, and go and create. Let's go and create our inventory that we need, and let's call it as dev, and let's put this whatever we wanted to put, right? Just go here, we'll have 236 and the other one also, right? Put whatever name that you want, it's up to you. I'm just showing you how to override, right? So if you don't pass any inventory, it will default take it from our etc Ansible hosts. Okay, so let's see how to run this, right? Now let's say Ansible playbook, you have to pass -i is the inventory file that you have to pass, host.inv. So it's going to point to this host.inv. Okay, it's going to pass this host.inv. That's the inventory file, and then we are going to say software multi, okay, whatever is there, and we wanted to run this for dev. You don't have to say that. If you have given already dev inside the YAML file, then that's fine. Right. Run this. Now this will take effect only on this one. Now, just to prove that it is taking here, right? Let's go and do something. Just to prove, right? Just to prove. Let's make this as 88. Right? Let's make this as 88 and run this. There is no any file called 88. See here, unreachable. Right? So it is taking our inventory file, whatever we have given now. This is unreachable because there is no any server called 88. Okay, there is a server only on 85. So this is the way that we can just prove that it is taking our own inventory, even though the default inventory is correct. Okay, just to let you know, you can group your inventory however you want. But please be very careful. If you are giving your own inventory, every time you need to pass this inv file, the .-i file, otherwise it will not run this for you. Okay. And you can group all these things, right? You can run in dev separately and you can run in prod separately. You can do all these things like you want. And if you have multiple, you can also say prod-dev, right? Two different groups. If you have, you can say this one. You can do all those things, right? You want, right? Different thing. You can. It's the same thing we are doing again. The different. You can also say, see here, very interesting one, right? You say all, but execute this task only with the host name in the group if it is in dev, right? Even though you say all here, right? I have dev and Linux, but only do it for dev. Only do it for dev we are saying. So you can use a when condition and we will see this, how to do this also, right? So for that, what we will do, first we need to have a group called dev and one more, right? Let's go and try to have that host.inv. So this is Ansible node 1. Okay, node 1 is our Ubuntu. So node 2 is our this one. Okay, let's go and put this and say 172.31.27.236 and let's go and comment this guy here. Okay. Even though I say host, still you can say only dev. Host in host inv, just run for dev. We already have a dev. Okay. See, it's going to run only for the 85. Okay. When I say run for Linux, then you will have to go and do a Linux. We're not getting this Linux here. Got to change it in the playbook. Just give it a minute. Okay. Now let's go and see how to run it for a particular group, right? So okay, we have this Apache. Let's go and try to run this for Apache. So vi install Apache. Okay. Here we are going to say the host will be all. The host is going to be all, just like this. The host is going to be all, and we are going to add this statement alone here, saying when inventory host name in Linux. That's all. So host is all, and you install this. Install this only whenever inventory underscore host name in group Linux, not in dev, in Linux. only in Linux. So now let's go and try to run this guy. Before running it, just make sure you are checking your syntax also, right? You should not miss anything. Playbook, install Apache, and say okay, playbook is fine. And let's go and see if this is running only for our Linux. Even though I say host as all, okay, no setting was provided for become run as set as become user. See, it changed to this and it left. Even though we say all, it just went only for the 236. 236. Okay. Let's go once again and check that. And we have to copy this one and just go and put it there for the other stuff as well. It has to start only if the it's Linux. Similarly, enable it only when it is Linux. And for this also, right? It's Linux. Even though I say host for all, let's go and do this. See, it's only taking 236. It has skipped all other stuff. Okay. So now if you try to run this, you should be fine. Why is this 134 coming? I think we forgot to do something. Can someone say what is that? We forgot to pass our own inventory file, right? Now you see, it will only take the 236. It's going all, it's gathering fact, it will skip 85 and it will only do it for 236. See, doing only for 236. So last time we did not give -i. So if it is all wins, it's taking Windows also. This is the Windows one. 134 is a Windows one. Okay. So you can group and you can go and put some conditions like this to run for the specific okay. You can go and put like prod, whatever that the group wanted, right? You can go and play around with this. But if you are having a local inventory, please make sure you pass your inventory file whenever you are running your Apache, Ansible playbook. Okay, that's fine. Next thing that we have is, let's talk about variables, right? There are some ways how we can use variables. Let's see how to use variables. So in general, variables are used wherever that something is getting changed quite often. We will use variable instead of just hard coding it, right? There are two types of variables. One is local variable, another one is a global variable. Local variable will be accessible only within the playbook. Global variable will be accessible across the playbooks. Okay. Okay, fine. So let's go and see. There are local variable and global variable. Local, these are only accessible within the playbook or within that file, right? These are accessible to the multiple files. So we will see an example of this one, right? How to define variables here and how to go and access it in our playbook, right? So everywhere it is one we can use, and we can use anything else also, right? Let's go and let's go to and okay, absent is already there. So let's go and run this guy, and we will say Ansible playbook tree install.yaml. Now this time the inventory file is taken from the central location, the global location. Okay, the host file is taken from there, that is gone. So now we are going to see how we can put this particular tree in a var file, right? So this is what the syntax is, right? It's called vars, and you can define number of variables like this, number of variables. Okay, so let's go on the top and define a variable. Under vars, you can have list of variables. Okay, and I call this as software. Okay, software and colon, and we will call that as a we'll call that as our tree. Okay, so whenever you call the variables need to be called within these 2 square brackets. Okay, SW. Okay, this is the way that you need to call. Now here, when you are calling it along with some other string, you simply need to call without a double quotes. But if you are calling with a separately only that, right, then you need to call it this way only. Okay, this is how you need to call. Okay, if you are calling it as a separate this one like this, see here, you can call it like this. If you are calling it separately, you need to call it in a double quotes. Okay, let's go and see if this is working fine or not, and let's make this as present. Okay, right now our tree should not be there. Yeah, we don't have tree, and slash temp, that is also gone. Okay, so now let's go and see if our variables are taken correctly or not, right? So for that, let's do an Ansible playbook and say tree install, and do a let's go and run this directly and see what happens. See here, it has already substituted our variable with the tree, and now it has installed also, right? So this is a local variable. See, this is a local variable, so you are able to see this. Okay, this is a local variable. Now this variable, that whatever we have defined in tree.yaml, this particular variable will be accessible only within this playbook. You cannot come outside and you cannot access this. Okay, but if you wanted to access it globally, then you need to put it in etc config file. Okay, we need to put it in. This is the local, so you can just go ahead and put the local one. You will be able to get all the local stuff. Now suppose if you wanted to do, here is where you need to put all vars, right? So it will be applicable for all the variables. You can say sw equal to tree, and you can access it here directly. Let's go and see if we can do this also, right? So don't worry what software we are putting, but just global where.yaml. To give the name of the playbook without fail. Okay, hosts, let's go to dev, and let's give become as true, because we may install something. Okay, don't give where, because we are going to give it there. Let's put the tasks and give a name of the task. whatever we are going to give there, right? That's what it's going to take, right? SW, and we will put M, and name of the software will be in double quotes. You need to give SW, okay, and state colon present. Okay, that's all. Nothing else, right? I think we are good. Let's go down to our this, just like this Windows where we should put for dev wheres, and we have to put that. That's all. Or you can put all wheres also. If you put all wheres for every group, it will take effect. But let's do it for now. Let's put as dev. And just say SW is equal to whatever you want to give, right? SW is equal to, say, unzip. I want to put the unzip. So unzip parameter, right? So we can go and put the unzip parameter. You can go and put it there as an unzip parameter, and we can use this and see if we are able to access it globally. Now, wherever you refer SW for the group dev, it will take it here. Okay, now let's go and see if we can run this global where. So do a Ansible playbook global where. So I would always recommend you to check this syntax check just to make sure that we are able to do a dry run. If your global variable is correct, see here, it has already picked up unzip, and it should have done this, right? Now let's go. Before that, let's make sure whether we have unzip or not. Sometimes unzip comes with the kernel package itself for some of the flavors of Linux. Okay. Okay, nothing is there. Okay. Let's go back and run this guy. See here, unzip has been installed, right? Everything is there. Okay, so this is how you can use the variables both locally and globally. Okay, you don't define anything in global, you just define in the host file and you will refer it here. Okay, so this variable will be applicable to all the group under dev. If you put all colon wheres, then it will be applicable for Windows and everywhere. Okay, so it's up to you what you want to do. Okay, that is on the variable stuff that we saw, right? So just go and change the inventory there and you will run. You will see all the, this one will get passed. Okay, go and try out all these playbooks, right? So we already saw about this ad hoc commands. There are some commands you can use shell modules, right? You can use -m module shell. A is argument, and you can say what type of terminal you are using you want to see. You can see, you can also copy all source to destination. We saw this, right? So you can go and create file modules also there. You can go and use a file module. You can have an argument saying destination to this one. You can do a lot of things, right? A lot of things are there. You can go and see, you can go and delete a file. Okay, you can do a package. See, all these are ad hoc commands. See, same thing we have done, right? We have written this one as a YAML file, this one as a YAML file, but this we have written as an ad hoc command. You can write this ad hoc command, but you cannot save this or run it many times, right? So we have to write a playbook for that. So go through some of these commands. These are all very simple. So you can keep testing, writing, converting to YAML files, playbooks, and keep on doing whatever you want to do, right? Again, keep always in mind the module and the argument that you need to pass for the module. That's very, very important, right? So ad hoc users, you can go and play around. So just, you can also set up some cron jobs, so many things that you can do. But the recommendation from the company or the enterprise is always to use a playbook, because that is the one that can be integrated in Jenkins. You cannot integrate the ad hoc comments. Okay, just keep that in mind. So these are some of the copy operations that you want to copy. You write a playbook. Okay, you can say copy file. You have a file temp, copy to destination. Who is the owner? Who is the group? What is the mode? These are all Linux, right? So you will get those permissions and stuff. So copy file with owner and permissions. You can do all those things. You can give different mode, right? Or user, group, others, right? User will have read, write. Group will have read. Others also will have read. So this is another way of passing the mode. Instead of 644, you can say this one. Both are same. Okay. And owner, and this is also right. For user, whatever permission he has, add additional read and write. Remove read and execute. Remove read, write, execute. Right. That is the notation how you give in Linux. This you can keep using all those things, right? And you can also do a backup of file. You can take a backup of a file before you copy, right? Say for example, there is a source.ntp.conf and you want to put it in the destination ntp.conf again. You can take a backup. When you say backup equal to yes, what it will do, it will take the backup of the file. So copy a new ntf into file, backing up the original file if it differs from copied version, right? If it is the same, it will not take a backup. If it is different, it will take a backup and then it will go ahead and put it for you. And here you can do a local file, whatever that you have, move it within the client machine itself. You don't have to push it from here. Suppose you have some file a.txt in your home ANS admin in your client, then you can push it to some other place. You can use this content and the destination, right? So you can go to create some file with some content. Okay, content is local file and create it as a test.txt, and from there you move it to some other place and you can put additional Ansible date timestamp that you wanted to put and you can save it accordingly, right? So these are all some of the inbuilt parameters that is there for you in your this one Ansible date time. You can do this. Okay, you can run this. You can copy them and you have your right here. You can say the remote file must always be replaced. If you are saying always replace force equal to no, then it will not replace. It will take a copy. If you say backup, yes, it will take a copy and then it will copy the file. Force to copy, yes or no, right? Create a file with, you can create some file with content. This is how you can create. You want to create a test file at the home, give the content what needs to be inside the home. You can go and check that, right? So there are different what to say ways of copying files. All these are there in the modules. You can go and check. I can share this, and whenever you are having time, please run this, create this YAML files and try to run this, guys, right? So this way it will help you. Okay, let's see about this custom input, right? So this is something like there's a prompt. You can use this and you can say, like, it will print a message, right? Say, let's try to see if we can copy this and see if we can run this guy. Let's see what happens. So what I'm doing, I'm prompting this, what is your username, and I'm storing it in username. Okay, variable name is username, and this is the prompt. And when I say private equal to no, if I say private equal to no, it will show what I am typing. If I give private equal to yes, it will not show. Like for example, for changing the password in Linux, you will not see the password you are typing. It will be empty, right? That is what is happening. Let's copy this and see if we can run this guy, right? Prompt user.yaml, just put whatever name you want, right? It's up to you. Okay, and do a set paste. The indentation is there for you. It will go to the paste mode. Just paste this, you will get this, right? You'll get it. So as I told you, you don't even have to have this. And this also, right? No problem. Okay, fine. Let's go and see what happens, right? So let's say Ansible playbook prompt user. It will simply ask for my username. I'm typing it here. Okay, I'm able to type. I'm able to see my name, that what I'm typing, because it says private equal to no. I'm just going to get that, put it in the variable as username. I'm just going to print that guy. That's all. So for just to print this, you need not go to the system, find out all the system information, and also we should have given gather facts equal to false. It's fine. Let it be. It will take some time in gathering the facts. It has to come back. See here, and it has printed logged in as Chandra in all the three machines. 134, 85, and 236, right? So it has just printed, but nothing to do from this one, right? It's just trying to print only the master. So now let's go and say change this to yes. See, now I'm typing my name. Okay. Yes, I don't know the spelling. I'm not seeing anything here, but actually I've typed it. Okay. Now let's see what happens. See here, it has printed my name. So it is just, whenever you type your password or something, you can make it as private equal to yes. So here this is what is your username. Make it private yes, and your username will be not shown there. Okay. Input won't be visible as the open text. Then you can also encrypt your passwords, right? You can encrypt your passwords like this. You can say ask them to enter the password, say private yes, and encrypt method. This is the encrypt algorithm that you can use, and you want to reconfirmation, right? Reconfirmation. Salt size is 7 is you can only have the seven characters or something that you can have for this one, right? So that's the salt size. So you can go and try all these things, and you can go and see, print a username, print your password, and everything that you can go ahead and see them. Okay, here you see username is private no, my password 2 is yes, with encryption and confirm yes, you will get a confirmation screen as well. If you have a passlib plugin installed, you can use any cryptology schemes that your library will support, and these are all some of the libraries that it will support. DES encryption, BSDI, BigCrypt, so many crypts are there. All these algorithms it can use that, right? It can use. Okay, so you can see all these things here. You want to allow any special characters, you need to say unsafe equal to yes. Use the unsafe option. Suppose your password needs to have some junk characters like hash, dollar, equal to, and all those things. You need to say unsafe equal to yes. Otherwise, it will not allow. Some special characters like this one, right? Percentage can create templating errors. So this particular parameters are being used internally within Ansible. We saw, right? We already saw that. See here, if you see here, see this is a syntax that has been used by special character used by Ansible. So if you wanted to use this, you have to say unsafe equal to yes. Then you will be able to use this. Okay. So you can go and try this, and this is some task is there. Go and try this and see. You can pass your website name and country name. It will just simply just print whatever you have printed. Okay. So just to print a message, there is a module called debug, and that takes a message, that has a message, and you can take an argument as message. in double quotes or single quotes, you can give as just a debug, right? Just go to the module and check for debug module. Debug module. This module is specifically used for printing print statements during execution, just like putting some print statements, right? Nothing else. It will just take message variable, any verbosity that is there, right? So it's very, very simple. You simply need to put a debug, put some message. That's it. Put some message that will work. Okay. Let's talk about this facts also, right? So Ansible factors are nothing but the facts about a machine, right? So it will take all the IP address and everything. So let's go and see what are things that it can take from this one. Ansible all -m setup. Okay, let's click on this one. So it will go to all the 3 machines and it will gather all the system related information. Like say, for example, you want to have Ansible Windows domain. These are all Ansible Windows. Let's search for Ansible OS family, right? So how you will search that? Setup grep Ansible OS underscore family. It's very difficult to see all the things. So you can either do this, what happened? Spelling is not correct. Family. You can see here, one is Red Hat, one is Debian, one is Windows, right? So this is there somewhere here. Okay. It's very difficult for you to go and see this and go to this and see one by one, right? So you want to do something, you can go and check like this, right? Ansible, you saw this, right? You can put Ansible date time dot date, it will show you this date today date. So you can put all these things Ansible facts like this. You can see the distribution Microsoft Windows, and you can see all those domains similarly for the other servers here, right? So many things that you can see here. Very difficult to see. So if you know certain this one, you can go and see it here, or you can just go and output this to a facts file, facts.txt. Everything will be written to the facts.txt, and once it is written, the entire dump will be written to facts.txt, and you can go and get inside and go and see whatever you want, right? You can go and search one by one and go and see all the facts. So these are all the facts that it's trying to gather, and from this only, whenever we are giving the condition as inventory group, that this and all, right, it is able to understand because of this only. Okay, so based on this only, it will be able to, let's say, inventory. So inventory is not here because that is as part of our inventory file, but we can check some other things that you wanted to check. You can see your Ansible IP address and all those things, right? See, you can get the IP address of the machine and everything it will get using this one. Okay, so you can go and check this. If you are not able to check, scroll through fully, this is the way that you can do. Okay, so this is your Ansible fact. So based on this only, it will do all these things. So when you say all, you can gather all subsets. You can only say I need a network related facts alone. I want the hardware facts alone, and I want the virtual facts, or you want import facts from another factor, or you want import fact from OHI. OHI is another plugin which will give you the facts. Okay, so you can combine all those things and you can put it in your config.cfg file saying gather subsets all, right? Let's go and see what is there for us, right? So we will say vi sudo vi sudo vi etc ansible ansible.cfg, and here you will go and see that the value is called gather subset, right? See here, this only affects the gathering done by a play gather facts directive. Okay, so all network and everything is here, and you can go ahead and see that. See here, gather subsets all, right? So it will by default take all, even though it is by default it will take this one, and you can also turn off this one by saying gather facts equal to false. Okay. So gather fact, you can say gather facts, you can say true or false. Okay. Do not gather anything by default. You must say gather facts equal to true. But gather facts you can put implicit, put it as false. Okay. So you can go and turn on this one, or you can use it in your playbook directly. It's up to you. I would always recommend you to do it in your playbook rather than in this config.cfg, because this will be applicable to all the things that you are running, right? So display only facts about certain interfaces you wanted to do. So you do like this: Ansible all -m is a module for setup, -a is your argument, filter Ansible Ethernet 0 to 2. It will only display this one for the all the three, right? So you can go and try this and see. So there are commands here. You can just take that and just go and filter based only on that one, right? If you have filter only based on that. See here, Ansible ET gets 0. It shows only ET gets 0. ET gets 0, right? Okay. So this is how you can get your this one. You can also restrict additional gathered facts to network and virtual by just saying only Ansible -m setup only. Give me the network and the virtual one. Don't give me everything, right? -m setup will just give everything, and you are filtering the subsets, right? Only on network and virtual. So you will get only the network related facts here. Okay, network and virtual machine related facts. So like this, you can go on running all these things as you need. You can also correct only network and virtual, excludes default minimum facts, right? Gather subsets, not all and not any, and only just network and virtual. So that also you can do. Don't call puppet factor or OHI, don't call OHI, don't call factor. You can put this. Only collect the default minimum of facts. You can do all these things, right? So don't collect any fact at all here. Don't collect any fact. Display facts and stories as a custom fact. Only thing is we are just taking this and then we're treeing it out to the facts. That's it. The following playbook is designed to display the data. Each step I will then print the variable of them. And as you could notice, to access element, you have to put the element like this, right? You wanted to display the data of architecture, for example. You have to just put a double quotes and enter the architecture. That particular value, it will get you the value. Okay. And suppose you want to have a list, then this is how you have to do. Under Ansible Appermer, you have a status as one of the tag. You can put it like this, or you want to access the list, then addresses you can list, access all the list of addresses that you have, right? So you can go and write a playbook. There is a playbook. Try to run this playbook and get all the mount points, all the disk space, everything that is being used, right? Instead of node 1, please make sure we use it as whatever host name that we have given, right? So these are some of the examples of how to gather some facts on the MAC address and other things that we are running, right? So you can go ahead and do all these things. Simply you can just echoing allo, it will tag allo, and then you can say just a name, and you can do a echo by. Okay, so you can try to run this as well. Okay, so let's continue the next class. Okay, try to run this, set up this Ansible. If you have not already set up, please set it up. Please set it up, and let's make sure. I hope this setup file is there with you already. So go ahead and set it up. And once you set up, please make sure you start running this ad hoc commands and other commands. Okay. Any questions, guys?
Chandra, can you have a variables in this file like host file, inventory host file, instead of having global variables?
No, inventory host file, we are actually, whatever we are putting in inventory only is a global, it's a
no, variables in the file instead of putting in
you can create a variable.yaml and you can pass that also.
Okay.
You can pass that also. Okay. I will have this machine stopped for you. So we'll be using the same setup when we continue next class. Okay. But I want you guys to get it going, right? If you're having any issue or anything, just please let me know. And only thing, please keep in mind, when you stop and start the server, your public IP address will start. Okay. If you stop and start, the public IP address will change. So you need to put it accordingly. Okay. So if you guys need this file, I can download this and upload it for you in our group. So you will have that file also with you. Okay. I'll upload this PDF, whatever is here, so you can take a look at the references for you as well. Okay, you can see all these things, right? That whatever that we are seeing, like inventory groups, inventory group registration, running Vagrant. We are not using Vagrant. You can go and see all the inventories, the dynamic inventories, multiple inventories. A lot of things are there. Okay, some installations, how you can install PHP and all those things are given there. Then we'll talk about roles and all going forward, but you can just take a look, right? Okay, all right. Anything else, guys? But please be very careful if you're using AWS or Azure or Google. Please use it in such a way that you don't get charged. Okay, because it is very difficult to set up this clusters again and again, right? So try to
Chandra, can you share that mobile extreme URL path or something?
Yeah. Let me open that for you. Mobile extern. You can search in Google also.
It did, but it has multiple versions.
The one that I'm using is 20.1, but maybe the one that's showing might be the latest one. I'm not sure about that. Let's go and check that. Mobile extern for Windows 10. Can go here, right?
I think 22.1 is the latest one.
22.1 I'm seeing here. Right. This is the one, right? So you can go here and select the installer version. Okay, and you can go and install it for free, and you can use it. It will not only support SSH, it also supports many other protocols like Telnet, RSH, RDP. Everything can be used here. Okay,
I think
there
you
are
stopped
something.
sharing.
What is it?
I think you stopped sharing.
Stop sharing or what? Oh, sorry. Okay. So this is what I told you, right? This is a mobile term. It's kind of supporting all your terminals, okay? Not only SSH. You can do a telnet and everything. It's very easy. I did not update it. I don't know if for update they will ask some licensing or something. I'm not sure. But anyway, let me try to see if I can download it and take it out, right? Okay. Again, be very careful. When you are doing a edition, just take the home edition. Don't take the professional one. You will just need to pay. Okay. All right. I'll upload this PPT, these text files that I showed you. And tomorrow I am traveling actually, so I'm not sure we will be having the class tomorrow, but we will be continuing next week and we will be done with second week of November. Okay. So we have Docker and Kubernetes. Okay.
Okay, Chandra.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Fine. Anything else, guys? Anyone has any doubt or any questions? I'll upload this and please take a look. And again, just for your information, please practice. If you don't practice, it will become very difficult for you. Just for your information. Okay. Okay. All right, guys. So thank you, everyone, and we will meet in the next class. Okay. And please practice. We have seen Git, Maven, Jenkins, and now Ansible. And next class, when we complete our Ansible, we are going to integrate with Jenkins and check. And then we'll have to start with the Docker. So where we will be installing Docker desktop for Windows and Docker in Linux. And we will go ahead and try out all our Docker related stuff. Okay. Okay. Anything else from anyone? I'll upload all these things that whatever I showed you, right? So I'll go ahead and upload those for you guys. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, Chandra. Thanks.
Okay. All right, guys. Yeah. Once the recording is available, I will ping you guys. Okay.
Yeah.
I would recommend you to download those materials and recordings as well, please, because there is a high possibility that I may run out of space. So then I'll have to delete something. So please go ahead and download it. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
There are some exe files which are like MBs and MBs. So please try to download all those things. Okay. All right, guys. Yeah. Thanks, everyone. Thanks for your time.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah. Thank you.